cool, man, filming the show in Glasgow as well. You know, it's my local community. I like it here, man, so it's good. Because this show started in Edinburgh, and, you know, things are actually going all right at the minute, but I don't know if you've been to the Edinburgh Festival. Probably not, because you're Glaswegian. 50-minute train for all the greatest artists in the world. Nah, fuck that. In Edinburgh, you're doing it in, like, fucking toilets and cabins and shit. Last year, my venue was a Harry Potter-themed escape room. So this is great. It was actually fine, but it's just so hard to, like, get your parents to be proud of you. In a Harry Potter-themed escape room. Fuck me, I'll never forget that conversation. I had to speak to my dad about Harry Potter, a subject close to neither of our hearts. And he's funny, my dad. He doesn't mean to be, but he is. He's just like a classic Scottish dad, just getting things a bit wrong. You know in Harry Potter, that bit where they go through the wall at the train station? My dad referred to that as platform 911 and 3/4. It's a hell of an image, old boy. The second boy wizard has hit the platform. Wow. It's great to be doing it in Glasgow. I've lived here for a long time now, but I'm from the East Coast originally. I'm from Fife. I was born in Kirkcaldy, made in the Navy, obviously, but lived here for years. And all my mates are Glaswegians now, and they slag Fifers off. They slag us off all the time. We get such a hard time, but I think we've given a lot to the world. Always want to stick up for ourselves, you know. Like Kirkcaldy. If you don't know, Adam Smith, he's from Kirkcaldy. If you don't know him, he's an economist. He's the forefather of modern capitalism. That was us. I feel like if you could come back now and see Kirkcaldy High Street, it'd be 10 vape shops and a casino, you've nailed it. That's exactly what I had in mind. And listen, I'm from like a small town near Kirkcaldy, and it's you know, there's not much going on, it's small, but all my mates in Glasgow now, they slag me off for being like a country bumpkin, you know, think it's like really rural. And it's a small place, but I never thought of it as rural growing up. And then I was in the pub the other week and they were slagging me for this. And you know when you get a memory you've just like not thought about for years, maybe you've repressed it or you've seen it in a film or something, it's not real. They were slagging me off and I get this memory pop in. And I was like, oh yeah, growing up, there was a horse and cart in the town. And the horse and cart would go around the town delivering fruit and veg out the back of the cart. And then at the end of its shift, the horse would go into a local pub and drink a pint of Guinness. Now I mention that it does sound like the kind of anecdote you might have told in Ireland in the 1100s. So they were slagging me off for being rural. I get this memory, but I'm not sure if it's real or not. So I text my dad. I'm like, back me up here, Dad. Growing up, was there a horse and cart in the town? Did it deliver fruit and veg? And at the end of its shift, would the horse drink a pint of Guinness? And my mates are slagging me. I get the reply, no. I'm like, of course that never happened. I must have seen that in a film or something. Then I get a second text, it wasn't just Guinness. He enjoyed a range of beverages, this horse. Yeah, I like a Guinness, but come on, it's July, I'll have an Aperol Spritz, please. Horse of the world. The show's called Horse, and I should tell you now, that is the only horse joke in it. I wrote it the day I had to name the show, and it's not even one of the better routines, if I'm being honest, but I can't tell you what a buzz it is after like 9 years of stand-up to finally have a horse walks into a bar routine. It's all been building to this. So yeah, I'm from the East Coast, and from my bedroom window growing up, I could see Edinburgh over the water, and I always loved comedy, and I wanted to go to Edinburgh and do the Fringe, and I made the decision as a young man, that's what I'm going to do with my life. And listen, you know, it's paid out, I think. You know, big life things have always happened to me at the Fringe, and like last year, I met 2 different women during the Fringe last year that sort of changed my life. First one is my bank manager, Jessica. I'll tell you about her in a minute. Second one is I met a girl during the Fringe. I fell in love. And at the time, I was doing a show about being single and like shagging around and stuff. And then I found love. It was kind of crazy. And my friend Marielyn, who's another comedian, you might know her, you might not, she's from Shetland. She came to me one day and she was like, Stu, don't you think it's funny that... If you don't know her, that is bang on. And she's from Shetland, she's like a little fairy. And she's like, Stu, don't you think it's funny that you did a show about being single and then you got a girlfriend? Maybe you should do a show about being skint and then you'll be rich. So that's sort of this show. If I'm honest. Because, I mean, I love the job, but it's not financially stable. Do you know what I mean? At the Fringe, you get paid in a bucket. That's not normal. What do you do for a living, mate?
Engineer.
Engineer? Do you get paid in a bucket?
No.
No. There you go. And I'm willing to bet that is true for most of you as well. To be honest, it had always kind of suited me, though, through my 20s. You know, it was very free and easy. very simple life. I do my show, I get my bucket, I get paid, I put that money into a pillowcase, I take it to the bank, and then I spend that money on sweets and PlayStation games. That was pretty good during my 20s. I like that setup. And last year I went to do the same routine. Every year, take my bucket, decant it into a pillowcase, off to the RBS like austerity Santa Claus. And I put my coins into that tumble dryer machine that counts them, and then you go to the till, and usually they just put the money in your account. But last year I got ambushed with a meeting I wasn't expecting. I tried to put the money in, and something must have come up on the women's screen. And she was like, "Oh, Mr. McPherson, do you have a few minutes today to spare to discuss your finances?" I was like, "Yeah." CEX can wait. Cancel my 3 o'clock. I'm going to move things around. We'll make it happen. She's like, "I can see from your account here, Mr. McPherson, that you've never had a financial health check." And I was like, "Yeah, because what the fuck is that?" I've never heard those words in that order. Ever. Walk me through it. I'm dumb. Health? I know health. I've had health for millennia. Mental health, when did that start? Like 10, 15 years ago? I'm up to speed with that. 5 years ago, men's mental health. Good rebrand. Happy with that. Financial health, totally new one on me. I guess next step, men's financial health. Check in on your boys, you know. It's okay to not be okay, lads. It's okay to be in your overdraft. Can't come in today, boss, having a bad men's financial health day. Can't afford the bus. That's where we're at in this fucking country, by the way. Can't get an actual health check for love nor money, but they're flinging financial health checks at you. Shooting pains down your left side if you try getting a stocks and shares ISA. So I go for this meeting. They've got a space at the bank. They've got this meeting, so I just go through and I meet my bank manager, Jessica. She's class. She talks like that. No matter what she's saying, "I cannot legally advise you." All right, why have you fucking pulled me in here then, Jess? What's going on? On a credit card? Listen, some of my best friends are Glaswegian. Say card if you want instead of cards. I'm not here to language or accent shame, but it is funny. It is funny when you hear it like 100 times in half an hour. She was cool, man, but I really did respect Jessica's refusal to properly pronounce one of the, in my opinion, key words in her line of work. "I cannot legally advise you on a credit card." Fucking hell, all right, Christ. Didn't ask you to. And I like Jessica, but she was very Glaswegian, to be honest, by which I mean she was like very blunt, very cutting. She didn't take any shit. She was really to the point, which was cool, but she didn't like that I was like a wee fanny that didn't know anything. Do you know what I mean? I had no answers to any of the questions. She was just didn't have any time for it. The best way to explain it to you is like, you remember the show University Challenge, the quiz show that's too hard? It used to be hosted by a man called Jeremy Paxman, right? And he was known for, if a contestant gave what he thought was a stupid answer, he would like be raging at them. And he'd like grill them. That's what Jessica was like with me. "What do you mean you don't know if you've got a pension?" I was like, "I came in with a pillowcase, Jessica." Part of you thinks I've got the answers. I was just disappointed now, over and over again. "Question 1, what do you do for a living?" "I'm a comedian." First wrong answer. Wrong. I get it though, it's just hard. Like, I'm doing all right, but it's a grind doing this. You know what I mean? Like, being a creative in 2025 is just hard, and just in all industries, even like big bands and stuff, they're not making much money anymore. Because like Spotify, all the money's going to like the big corporations, and I feel terrible using Spotify because they rip off artists. They pay like 0.004 cents per stream, and I feel terrible about that because I want to support other creatives. So what I'll do, I've got a workaround basically. I've got a record player, and if there's like a good young band on the up that I want to support, I'll buy their record. But then on Spotify, just because it's convenient, I do use it, but I only use it for artists that have been disgraced. I think that's a good workaround. So, like, Michael Jackson, horrible paedophile, obviously. The tunes were undeniable, though. But I don't want to get the vinyl. I don't want to give $24.99 to the estate of Michael Jackson. But to be honest, I can live giving him 0.004 cents. I think that's fine. I think that's like quite a good little workaround. Obviously, until Spotify rap season. Posting that on the grid, it's just a who's who leaderboard of despots and murderers and beasts. Get the cute little market, and you were really into Nonscore this year. Top audiobook, Mein Kampf. Top podcast, Diary of a CEO. get it. It's hard. She's asking me all this stuff about my finances. Have you got contents insurance? Don't know. Doubt it. Doesn't sound like me. I don't think so, Jess, because every time I leave the flat, I put my MacBook into the bed under the duvet in the hope that if a burglar does come, he's not inquisitive enough to look in the bed. I'm not proud of that, but that's my current policy, Jess. How much do you earn per annum? Honestly, between about 12 and 50 grand. I'm not sure. I use Apple Pay on my phone. When I get declined, I stop buying stuff. That's the system. Have you got any assets that are not purely financial? Yeah, I'm glad you asked, actually, Jess. For the last, 3 years, I've had these 6 coats I've been meaning to put on Vinted. They're getting more and more vintage by the day, Jessica, so don't worry about them. They're accruing value. Also, I've got about £17 left on a voucher for Pepe's Peri Peri. That's safe. That's going nowhere, Jess. That's with the Swiss gold, baby. It's honestly the best gift I've ever got in my life. For my 30th, my good friend Ollie, he got me a £100 voucher for Pepe's. Yeah, there should be some excitement in the room. Even in this economy, that is a lot of chicken. £100. I was buzzing with that. Ollie's got a proper job. He's an engineer. That's the kind of trickle-down economics we like to see. Finally. So I get this voucher, and honestly, it's one of the best gifts I've ever got. It's my favourite chain. I love Pepe's. I was delighted. £100. I was absolutely buzzing with that. However, I cannot overplay to you how little the staff in Pepe's were aware that there was a voucher scheme. Every time I go in with this cursed-ass voucher, I need to introduce myself, what my intentions are. No one's been briefed for this. They've never seen it before. It's like I'm the only man in Britain that's got this fucking voucher. It's unreal. The first time I go in with the confidence of a man that's used a voucher before, I'm pretty confident I'm not paying for this chicken today. Wrong! It's too complicated. The till system's too intricate. No one knows what to do. So I'm speaking to them for ages. It's 45 minutes an hour. We just can't get it over the line. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just pay for my own chicken. Gutted, but whatever, I'll leave. Second time I go in, I go through the rigmarole with the first dipshit again. And then we get someone else, and then someone else, and then the manager. There's 4 of us. It's only Pepe I'm yet to meet. Between the 5 of us, using all of our combined smarts, we managed to process the discount on the till. Nice one. It takes 45 minutes, but I get my chicken for free as God intended. That's good. So that's the second time. 3 and 4 play out similarly. I go in, I'm chatting to everyone. It's taken a long time, but it works, and I get my chicken. The 5th time, crucially, I've moved flat. I now have a new local branch with an entirely new workforce to introduce myself to again, what my intentions are. We start again, but I'm not going in at the ground level, remember. I've learned a thing or two about the Pepe's till system. I've been at uni for this. I know more than that. But have you any idea how fucking mental you sound turning up to a takeaway? They've never seen you before. You obviously don't work there. And you go, hey, I'm Stu, and then you start mansplaining their till system. You sound like a conspiracy theorist. But trust me, I know it sounds mad. Trust me. Put it through as a contactless payment. I know it's not one. I know it's not. I'm on your team, brother. I just want this to be quick and painless. Put it through as a contactless payment. Void that. A receipt is going to come out. Ignore that. We don't need the first receipt. The first receipt is only slowing us down. Help me out, brother. Pop it through a 3rd time. You put me through as a member of staff. I know I'm not technically staff. It's starting to feel like it. Then I get my chicken. 6, 7, 8. Play out similarly. The 9th and final time I've got to use this thing, I'm back at my original branch on Sauchiehall Street in Glasgow. It's a Saturday night. It's 11 o'clock. I've been doing a gig, right? So I'm stone cold Steve sober. I just want to get my chicken and get up the road. But there's been a bit, it's Saturday night, it's 11 o'clock. There's been a gig on at the Hydro. Loads of couples, loads of drunk couples. It's rammed. There's 40 couples in there. And obviously I know what's coming. Scrooge McDuck's on his way with his fucking voucher to ruin everyone's Saturday night. So I don't feel good about it either, what's about to happen. Long story short, on this occasion, I have to go around the kiosk and serve myself my own Pepe's. Because at this point, I've got a better working knowledge of their point of sales than any of the members of staff in that branch. That is a lonely feeling, I've got to tell you. Also, imagine being at my gig and then seeing me 20 minutes later buying the till in Pepe's. What a grind set. There's a man that listens to Diary of a CEO, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, I've got assets, Jess. Don't worry about that. What else was she asking me? How much is your phone contract? I know that one, 40 quid. My mum still pays it. I do know that. That's the only thing I'm confident of in this room. She started when I was 12. I've never offered. And then she starts asking me about life insurance. I'd never thought about that. You got life insurance? I highly doubt it. So she's talking me through it. I'd never thought about it before. And you know, it's like how healthy you are and your lifestyle choices, they impact how much your life should be insured for. And so she starts asking me this questionnaire about my lifestyle choices. Question 1, do you smoke? Yes or no? I'm like, it's not as simple as that. It's not, it's not a binary. I'm a modern man, Jessica. It's a spectrum, girl. Come on. It's got to be no, but comments box, yeah. Sometimes I get leathered. I have like 9. So I've been thinking about health in light of this. And I watched a good documentary about health on Netflix, actually, called Blue Zones. Has anyone seen it? Yeah, a couple of people. For the rest of you, it's on Netflix. It's about health. And Blue Zones are basically what they call areas of the world where there's a really high percentage of 100-year-olds, right, that live very long and healthy lives. They're Scottish people. We don't need to worry about that. We were not represented on this documentary about health. And this American guy hosts it. He goes all around the world interviewing 100-year-olds, right? It's pretty good. Email me when you've seen it. You got to watch it, though. The funny thing about it is it's absurd, right? That's his whole job, this guy. Goes all around the world interviewing 100-year-olds, right? And yet, every single time he sits down with a 100-year-old, he cannot fucking believe that they're 100. No matter how many he meets per week, he's never expecting it. This geezer cannot get his fucking nut around the fact he is sitting. So you got to watch it. It's ridiculous. They'll be in Italy. They've got a good diet there, Mediterranean diet. There'll be some grandmother, some nonna. Like, what's your name? She'll go, my name is Maria. Which I know you've not seen it, but that is bang on. That's lost on you. And you go, how old are you, Maria? And she'll go, I'm a 100. And you'll go, oh my God. You're 100? Yeah, you fucking organised this, dipshit. How is this news to you? You don't look a day over 85. You're like, why are you trying to fire into Maria? Like, it's a miracle she's alive. You don't need to pretend she's a hot piece of ass as well. This is crazy, brother. You're 100? I would never have guessed that. Yeah, because that's rude. I wasn't born yesterday. If a woman asks you to guess her age, you don't know, about 100? I'd say a century, give or take. And the truth is, you're not going to like this from me, but the truth is, he's lying, because every 100 looks like absolute shit. It's not worth it, honestly. Get on the fags now. Cap at 80, it's not worth it. They all look like they're in the Rolling Stones. Fuck that, man. You cannot look good for 100. It brings me no pleasure, but that is the truth. You can look good for like 30, you can look 25, 40, you can look like 35. I think even at like 80, you can look 70. Every 100 looks 1,000. I'm telling you. Look, I went to school with Tutankhamun, these motherfuckers. So I just told her I don't smoke. In the end, seemed cleaner. And she makes you do it, right? So you need to fill out this lifestyle and life insurance questionnaire. She sits on the other side of her desktop scowling at you, and you've got to do it on this app, right? And you've got to fill in it, all the, you know, the categories and stuff. And it must just be like a shit system, because I'm not secretly rich or anything, but it must be faulty. So I'm answering honestly. You get to the end, you refresh it. It takes like a comical amount of time to come up, and then the number that my life is worth comes up, and I'm like, that can't be right. And she goes, what does it say? It says 100 million pounds. This is 100 million pounds a man you're looking at, Jess. She couldn't fucking believe her eyes. She was howling. She lost all professionalism. She's never seen that number in that office before, I'm telling you. Sadly, she was unable to advise me as to whether that's high or low, but got an inkling. Honestly, I just came out of the meeting just like embarrassed, because as I say, I sailed through my 20s, getting paid in buckets, not giving a shit, and now suddenly it's like, I've got to get my act together here. I'm in my 30s now, let's get on top of this. You know, all my mates are getting married and having kids. Something needs to give, you know, and like just like looking around me, like so many marriages and kids, and like my mate Bizzle got married last year. Bizzle, I know you don't know him, but that's fucked. Bizzle. He used to spill yop on himself. Every day at school he'd buy a yop, every day he'd spill the yop. 2 kids now, they're spilling yops, he's mopping them up. That doesn't make sense to me. And I think also because of the second person I met at the Fringe last year, I met my partner, and things are going, very fast. Like we've moved in together this year, me and my girlfriend. It's going well. 2 days in, she asked me if I always breathe like that. Yep. It's not a prank, darling. Rest of your life now, if you're lucky. She's not wrong. I do breathe heavy. I'm a mouth breather. Yeah, look at the way you're looking at me. People fucking hate the mouth breathing community. Why? We're not hurting you. You'd honestly rather. I was like, I'm a racist. Like, people hate. People open. We're such a marginalised section of society, the mouth breathers. I feel passionately. I want to use the filming for good. I want to use my platform. We're going to march for mouth breathers. We'd be out of puff, but we'd be passionate. Let's live our lives, man. It's bigger than your nose. That's the first point I'd like to make. Or you lot pissing around with your nostrils. You're wasting your own time, honestly. I went to yoga once, deep breath in through the nose for 8. I did it in 4 with the mouth. Honestly, consider it. Basically a life hack. And I'd always breathed heavy, but it's worse than ever this year because my girlfriend's got a dog, right? I've got a queer neurodivergent stepdog. She has a dog from a previous relationship, Sophie, and now Sophie's in my life, and I love Sophie, and she loves me, and she's so cute. But the problem is, I am fucking deathly allergic to Sophie, right? I'll come out in rashes, I've got eczema, I'm bunged up all the time. I've Googled it, I've got about 14 years of this left. She's a very healthy dog. I think she's got Italian roots. And she loves me. Like, she loves licking my lips. That's her favourite thing in the world to do. That's like her PlayStation. She fucking loves it. Licking my lips. And the first time I met Sophie, I didn't know I was going to be allergic, and she licked my lips, and they puffed up. Like I've got lip filler in, like I'm on Love Island or something. And so my girlfriend had to be like, no, Sophie, don't lick Stu, no licks. But then obviously, when my girlfriend's out, I let the dog lick my lips. My need to be liked does not end in this room. I need the dog to like me. But now I've got to do it by my girlfriend's back. It's like we're having an affair, me and the dog. She comes home, she can smell the pedigree chum off me a mile away. Lips like Jagger. Have you been getting off with the dog again? I'm like, no. She's so cute, but she's a nightmare. She looks like she'd be in Crufts and acts like she'd be in ISIS. She is an absolute terror, right? And the thing is, she just barks at people all day long. And what it is she's a lockdown dog, right? I didn't know this, but my girlfriend with her ex got her during lockdown, so she never socialised. And now when she meets people, she goes crazy. And so I'm just walking in the park at the end of the week, just fucking apologising all day long while she's going crazy at you. So if she goes crazy at you, I've got to go, I'm sorry, she's a lockdown. And that just gives you a carte blanche for all behaviour. XL bully mulling a toddler, she's a lockdown. So she goes crazy, I say it's a lockdown, and it just solves all the problems. It's a bit like, when you meet a guy, and it's like, he's not a dick, this guy, but we're just not clicking, we're not gelling, there's something's up here, and then his friend's like, oh yeah, he went to an all-boys school. All right, go. It's not his fault, he's doing his best, So yeah, we're quite domesticated now, things are moving quite fast, and it just feels very grown up. I think we would like to get a house together, I think that'd be the first thing. Because, like in the meeting at the bank with Jessica, she was asking me all this stuff in the next couple of years for like a financial planning thing. Like, are you going to get married? Are you going to have kids? Because we've got to look at that from a financial point of view. I'll never forget the way she asked me. She's like, would you like to buy a house in the next 2 years? I was like, yeah. Pop me down for yeah. This is how you do it. You're selling. She's like, well, Mr. McPherson, if you are looking to buy a house soon, I recommend, something's got to give. This doesn't add up, your lifestyle and your job, and something's got to give here. And she's not wrong, to be fair. Like, when me and my girlfriend look on, like, Rightmove and Zoopla and all these home buying websites, with our budget, a lot of the things that come up are things like parking spaces, garages. It's really like a dwelling, do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm talking to homeowners tonight. I need you to know this hasn't gone surreal in the middle. This is real life I'm talking about here. Often with my budget, things are not houses. I saw a little patch of land for sale the other day. Could be a landlord. It's right in the middle of town. Who doesn't fancy I lie down sometimes in town? This is ticking a lot of boxes for me. £8,000, I can afford that. Not outright, with a mortgage. 40 quid a month, same as my phone contract, see if my mum will take that off me as well. Landlord, lovely. Speak to my other landlord mates. You got a live, laugh, love sign. I've got a no ball game sign, so kind of the same. Do you know what always comes up for me with my budget is old folks' homes. Like, if you put in like 140 grand or whatever, like a lot of like rooms in retirement complexes come up. Which makes sense when you think about it. The funny thing about it to me is I get tricked every time by the listing. I'm like seriously considering it. Clicking through the photos, being like, yep, lovely garden. Lots of space. Wait a minute, why are there 26 armchairs in a circle? Quite fancy, it'd be like being back at uni. We just like a little bit of space, I suppose, because we rent a little one bed in the south side at the minute, and it's all right, but it's one bed. It's, we'd like a bit of space. That would be a nice luxury. Growing up, we're doing all right. We had a spare room at my mum and dad's, and it's just nice to have a bit of space, isn't it? And I've been trying to do a routine recently about my mum and dad's spare room because I'm an edgy comedian, and it's tricky, honestly, because I think it splits audiences age-wise. Like for when like internet and technology came in when you were a kid, like I think anyone under about 26, 27 hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about here. With respect, for the most part, we look all right tonight. With respect. Is there anyone under like 27? What's your name? Aidan, thank you. I just don't want to leave anyone behind, all right? So growing up, like we had a spare room at my mum and dad's, right? But it was called the computer room. Some old fucks over here remember. Basically, when I was your age, son, the computer was like the bath. It had its own room. And they were both just for wanking and really, Aidan, but try not to dwell on that. It'd just be nice having a little bit of space, because, as I say, we're in a one bed and it's great, but this is my first time just living with a partner, right? And obviously you're two different people trying to live harmoniously with different ideas. That can cause a friction, and I've only ever lived in like shitty, grotty, laddie flats, so this is totally new to me. I'm just under observation all day long in this one bed. There's nowhere to hide. I'm just learning things about myself that I do not like. One thing I learned this year, I don't know how to brush my teeth. I'm not proud of that. Maybe it's because I'm breathing through the mouth, now I think about it. But just every night I brush my teeth, not think about it, and then unbeknownst to me, this is a huge problem. Basically, because I've always been in grotty, laddie flats. No one's ever cared. Like, no one cares. I just don't care. I've never had to care before. I don't care if it sprays on the mirror. I don't care if it falls on the floor. Obviously, the sink's where I do a lot of my best work. Basically, view the sink as like the trough on the George Foreman. It just collects. But my girlfriend's got higher standards than me, and I want to reach her. I don't want to drag her down. And she wasn't being a dick about it, but she was just confused. After a few weeks living with it, just why there's toothpaste. She's never seen this amount of toothpaste in these many locations before. And she wasn't meaning anything by this, but she came up to me one night, just confused, and she was like, show me what you do. That is a humbling moment, I've got to tell you. It's a 32-year-old man brushing your teeth under supervision at the bathroom. She's got her arms around like a golf coach trying to show me how to do it properly. It's like that scene in Ghost. Just got different systems, I suppose, like any couple, The keys is a good example of things we do differently. We've got 3 keys that we need to get into the flat. My system is I like to keep those 3 keys on a keyring, and then I keep that in the top pocket of my coat. That's just me. She's got a different system, equally valid. She likes to keep those 3 keys just loose in her bag. Like old jelly beans. And it's not for anyone to suggest which system's preferable. No matter how many times a week her system fails the 2 of us. I think she's just so present. She's so in the moment. She's not taking the time to do that. And I love that about her, that she's so present, And the other night, she was out later than me. I was in bed. She comes home. We have a nice night together. The next morning, I wake up to make a coffee. I walk out through the hall. The front door's just open. Not unlocked. I need you picturing the right thing. Open. Open. We live in inner city Glasgow. It's not really a come one, come all situation. I don't want to be a dick, but growing up, we closed the door at night in our families. Also, the keys were on the other side! Can you hear what I'm saying? So we can get burgled and locked into a flat with nothing in it. Phoning a locksmith to get my own house. I'm not perfect, I'm scatty as well. And the next day, the fridge door was a bit knackered at the minute. I left the fridge door open. And she was like, well, you left the fridge door open. I was like, yeah, not even remotely comparable. I know Lurpak's expensive now, but come on. Did you hear about the man that left his fridge open? Yeah, his whole family got murdered. Nice one. But I love it about her, she is scatty, but it's part of the package, it's nice. It's like, when you get the right person, you'll forgive anything, won't you? But when you're single, you're really picky. You get the ick easy. You're like, she's got Reebok trainers, it could never be. It's like, I'm going to get killed in my sleep. She's quirky. I like that. She's not like the other girls. Just different things, like in any household. I think you're going to be on her team on this one, if you're not already. We disagree about this. Basically, whenever we're watching anything on the TV, no matter what it is, she has to have the subtitles on. Drives me insane. I know it's an emotional subject. People are elbowing their partners. I know this can split the nation's couples down the middle. I didn't come here to split you up tonight. I'm not Daniel Sloss. Relax. Take a breath. Personally, I don't get it. Why are we sitting watching EastEnders karaoke version? What the fuck are we doing? Cosplaying as deaf people. Let's get our act together. You're reading spoilers for jokes every half a second. It's driving me mad. Be fine if we're watching a French language film, which we never are. We're watching shit in a language we both speak. If you asked me the last book I read, I would have to say Married at First Sight, Australia. It's embarrassing. We were in the other night, and we're like, let's be off our phones tonight. We're on our phones too much. So we'll lock our phones away in the bedroom, we'll hang out in the front room. That's the beauty of the one bed. The world's your oyster. So much you can do. So we lock our phones away, and we're like, let's hang out in the front room, we'll pop something on TV in the background, we'll have a couple of drinks, we'll play cards, and we do just that. We have a lovely evening together, 4 or 5 hours go by. At the end of the evening, we go back through to the bedroom, and we go on our phones. Now, my girlfriend's got about 100 missed texts from her friend Laura. All you need to know about Laura is we steal her Netflix account. She lives in London. She's hit the maximum amount of people allowed on her account. She's been chucked off of her own account that she pays for. She can't watch her own TV. She's fucking raging. As you would be. So there's like 100 texts to my girlfriend being like, bitch, get off my Netflix. Bitch, it better be fucking good, whatever you're watching. Because I'm missing my program and I fucking pay for it. It better be good, whatever you're watching. It better be. And we didn't have the heart to tell her. What we were watching was The Fireplace. On mute as well, square brackets, fireplace crackles. That was the evening's entertainment. So yeah, we're getting along great in this little house and it's all going well. But like, things are hard sometimes. Like, there has been big challenges. She moved to be with me, which, like, fair play. It's a big thing to do. And, it's very tricky, especially initially. She moved from Cornwall to stay with me in Glasgow. Like, fair fucks, man. Like, I don't know if you've been to Cornwall, but it's beautiful. I've been there a few times now, and like big white beaches. It's like a postcard. The weather's great. It's beautiful. It's stunning. And Glasgow's fine. I like it, but it's not that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what she's used to. And she was really struggling to fit in and to adapt. She moved on January the 1st. It rained for months, solid. It was dark at 2:30 in the afternoon. She's never seen anything like it. She was really struggling to acclimatise. And after about 3 months living with me, she came up to me one day and she was like, I just don't know what's going on with me at the minute, man. I feel really low and depressed. I was like, yeah, now you're getting it. This is good. You're one of us, babe. We all feel like that. It's basically cultural appropriation, or having seasonal affective disorder. It's like me making pasties. It's funny, like her being from elsewhere and then living here, and like, I'm such a representative for my community. I didn't realize I didn't realize the power that can have on someone in a weird way. Like, it's such a weird thing, but like, basically, she never knows now, my girlfriend, because she's new to Scotland. She doesn't know if something is a common Scottish phrase or just me being weird. It's incredible. I didn't know I had this power. We were in Cornwall, we were chatting to her mum, and her mum was talking about her next door neighbour, who's a bit mad apparently. And my girlfriend just bold as brass out of nowhere. She was like, well, as they say in Scotland, she is unhingo ringo. So yeah, that's not a phrase, darling. That's just me making myself laugh. Don't worry about that. Dread to think what else she's been saying when I'm not around. And honestly, like, the weather is like the big number one issue in the house. Like, she can't bear the weather. She can't believe it. I got cock blocked by the rain last year. It's not a phrase I thought I'd be saying to a room full of strangers in a basement. But yeah, we thought we'd have like a fun, it was for Valentine's Day. We thought we'd have like a fun al fresco sexual experience. I bought a vibrating love egg. Don't leave me now, not now. The way some of you are looking at me, have we built nothing together? We're all adults. What I was saying up until recently, because I need everyone on the same team here, but I was going, it goes where you think it goes. I thought that was sufficient. And then I did a tour show in Newcastle, and the guy came up with it and was like, was it up her arse? Or... My girlfriend's like, you have to clarify. You can't just be saying I've got an egg up my arse. That's crazy. So we thought it'd be fun, but it was, it's February in Glasgow. It was like a football match postponed due to rain. Just terrible. And the first problem was me, to be fair. Me being me, I bought a real piece of shit one off Amazon. Like a £20 Snyder egg. Real piece of shit. It was from China. The box was all in broken English. Front of the box said, beautiful silicone, beautiful egg. Not a brand name I was familiar with. Front of the box said up to 8 minutes battery life. The back said up to 8 hours. Even the box can't agree with itself. I know I've not had a job for a while, but 8 hours, that's a full day at work, is it not? That seems like a lot. So yeah, you pop it in, and then I've got a little clicker. I'm walking down the road like I'm doing a fucking TED Talk. And it's just, we thought it'd be fun, but the weather was fucking awful. Also, because it was cheap, she was just raging. She was like, when I get actual eggs, I buy free range, and you're putting fucking trash inside me. The vibes were terrible. We go out, it's pissing with rain, like sideways sleet and wind, and the dog's going crazy. It's just fucking meant, like, no one could feel sexy. I don't know if you've ever looked into the eyes of your lover. It's pissing with rain. They're vibrating. And completely livid. Well, that was a tough sell, I've got to tell you. I was mainly worried about electrocuting the poor girl. Also, because it was a piece of shit, there was like no range on the clicker. So I had to get like really close. It looked like I thought my car was parked inside it. Terrible. So yeah, trying to keep it fun and, still in the early days we're keeping it fun. But it is serious, I know I'm in love. I know I'm in love because I've started buying fresh herbs. That wasn't a thing for the first 30 years of my life. Because I like cooking for her, I'm an alright cook, and that's kind of my role in the house. I like making meals for her, and it's like a pleasure to make a meal for her. It's really satisfying. And like, I would cook for myself when I was single, but the tone is different. Fuck me. When I think back to the meals I made myself as a single man, some of the saddest nights in ever. Single man's air fryer. Chicken and potatoes, no veg, we're not impressing anyone tonight. Chicken takes 20 minutes, potatoes take 30. 25 minutes. Overcook the chicken, undercook the potatoes, bon appetit, cunt. Now I'm buying basil. It's amazing how life comes at you. I think we are still in the honeymoon phase. I know that's like an abstract thing, it's hard to put a date on, but I think we are. Again, I don't want to be crass, but like in movies and media and stuff, I saw that like, you'll have seen this, like basically the honeymoon's over when you've started farting in front of each other because you're a bit too comfortable, you've let it go, you've lost some of that sexiness. And I get that, totally, I do understand that. I don't think that applies to us. To be honest, I think it's the opposite, like, because when we started hanging out, me and my girlfriend, the first time I went round to hers actually, we were just fucking around and having a laugh, and she was sitting on my lap, and not to toot my own horn at my own recording, but I made her laugh so hard that she farted on me. And that was just like a fun, cute little thing that would happen quite often at the beginning of the relationship. We'd have a laugh, she would laugh so hard she'd fart. That would happen pretty regularly. But recently, she's not been farting as much. And it's like a thing in the relationship. She'll come in and be like, you've not made me fart for like 5 weeks. I'm like, I know, I'm trying. I can make her come easy. Making her fart is the bane. It's the bane of my life. Don't ask me if I farted yet. That puts me off. It's just hard because of the point we met each other in life. Like we're still new and everything's fun and light, but also we're in our 30s and she's a couple of years older than me, and we've got these big decisions holding over us, and she's a performer as well, so we've we want to have like fun, crazy, creative lives, but also we want to kind of settle down, and like that doesn't really go. And we want to keep it fun and light, but we've got to make a big choice soon about whether you want kids or not, and that doesn't really go. So there's a lot of competing kind of elements, and like it's just hard when you're dating in your 30s. You have to have really serious conversations really early. It's crazy. Like kids is the big one. If you're lucky enough to have the choice of whether to have kids or not, like you have to be on the same page about that, don't you? And you need to do it early. Because if one of you really wants kids and the other one really doesn't want kids, you know, and then you carry on, and it's a bit like, you know, you're doing your driving test and then you just fucking plow into someone on the way out the test center, bang, just kill someone, stone dead, and then you've got to drive all the way around the town as if you might pass. Fucked, you know. So we talk about it all the time, and we've not really reached a decision yet, but we're on the same page at least. We're both open to it, and I've got reservations, to be honest, like about some parts of it. A lot of it to do with like this job and like finances and stuff. Because what everyone says is, you know, I just want to give my kid better than what I had growing up. That's what everyone says, isn't it? Like it's a very nice, you know, human thing to think. I just want to give my kid better than what I had growing up. Makes sense. And it honestly is pretty funny to me that if I have a kid at the minute, I'm just going to be giving them worse. After years and decades and generations of social mobility in my family, and then we had a good run. Stu's killed it for everyone. Because it was all right growing up. We were kind of a nice lower middle class home. We weren't rich, but we didn't want for anything, spare room. And you know, it was nice folk, and you know, it was great. And I remember if I was like being a little shit and I wasn't finishing my dinner, you know, my dad would say that classic thing. He'd be like, well, you know, be grateful for what you've got, son. You know, I was in a shitty council house growing up. We didn't have dinners like this. I'd have killed for this. There wasn't a lot of love in my home growing up, so you should appreciate what you've got. And I'm sure that came from his dad. You know, when he was being ungrateful with my dad, my granddad, his dad would be like, you know, son, it was before the war when we were growing up. We didn't have anything. You know, we're dirt poor, so like, be appreciative of what you've got. And obviously, if I have a kid now, I'm going to have this conversation, but I'm going to have a totally different spin on things. If my kid's being ungrateful, not finishing the dinner, I'm going to have to go, yeah, this is shit. This fucking sucks, but I've had a taste of the good stuff. We need to get back up there, son. Work hard. You're not going to be a comedian. I do not advise it. I'll tell you that much. There's too much love in my home, if anything. That's what got us into this fucking mess. Eat your dinner. Work hard. I want you to take my phone contract off your granny one day. I want it to bypass me entirely, son. So yeah, as fun as things are, we are having to have these sort of big conversations quite a lot about whether we want to keep doing this with our lives and whether we're even with the right people. And you know, that can be hard. But we always sort of come around again, or at least I do. I always feel galvanized in like my life's choices and, you know, what I'm doing. And it's always at like the weirdest points though. Like I was in Benidorm on a stag do last year, my mate Bizzle's stag do. And yeah, weird place for an epiphany, I will grant you, Benidorm. But we're out and it's like my mates from school. It's a Sunday night in Benidorm. It's 10 o'clock. I'm sober because I'm flying back to Glasgow the next day. I'm flying separately to the rest of the stag on a flight that I booked on day 2 of the stag, which is a very man in his 30s move. But I like these guys, but I'd pay €160 to not see them again for 4 months. I miss my girlfriend. Get me on that first fucking chopper out of here. So it's like 10 o'clock, Sunday night, I'm sober, we're in Benidorm, we're in this bar called Chaplin's, right? And there's pictures of Charlie Chaplin all over the wall in his little bowler hat and his little moustache. And we're just on the dance floor and we're having a laugh. Me, sort of 20 mates from school. And then an announcement comes over the tannoy, right? And they go, please vacate the dance floor in 2 minutes as there's about to be a live performance. So we move to the back of the room. I'm like, great, I can't wait for this. I love live performance. I can't wait to see what this is. I hope it's a musician. That'll be great. The performance in question comes on stage. Now, there's no easy way for me to tell you what this performance was. I just need to give you the baseline facts, and then we work through it together as a family, as a unit who've had a good time together for 50 minutes and trust one another. The act comes on. Now, the act is a Star Wars Sex on Segways spectacular. Does anyone need me to say that again? Because there's so much information. So it's live, in person. Star Wars, the film. Sex, the act. On Segways, and I need you picturing the right thing. So it's not like the Paul Blart Mall Cop one with the handle. It's the one that's just like a little hoverboard, which I've only ever seen on fail compilations on YouTube. So already quite impressive and spectacular. That word does get thrown around a lot these days, but it was spectacular. It was spectacular. So we're at the back of the room. This comes on, this act. First thing I want to say about this is a non-ticketed event. This is just on in the bar. Is that not the craziest fucking thing you've ever heard in your life? We didn't come for this. This is crazy. So they come on, and it's what it sounds like. So there's a man with a helmet on. He's Darth Vader. There's a woman with bunches. She's Princess Leia. I've not seen the film, but I got the gist. There was a lot of plot holes in this particular production, but I got it. So the actors, they go around in circles on the segways, performing sex acts on one another. That's the act, right? We're at the back of the room. Me, 20 mates from school, but also like the father of the bride. Just some guy in his 60s I just met 2 days ago. Nice. My mate Bizzle, his dad's there. John, I've known him since we were like 13. Used to go for sleepovers around his house. Wouldn't let us watch Scary Movie. Now we're watching this. It's just what it sounds like. No one came for it, but it's on, and we got to watch it. I googled it, by the way, at the time, and because I'm very inquisitive like that. And in real life, Vader and Leia are a couple. So that's nice, isn't it? That's a little element of beauty that wasn't there before. So they're doing their act. We're at the back of the room, and everyone's watching it differently, but it kind of stunned silence. And I'm not watching it like Attenborough myself, but I'm a performer, right? And when you watch any performance, that's the lens that you see. That you can't switch that off. You just critique everything as a performance and as a performer. So my main thing was I was watching it thinking, like, they're not having a good gig. They're kind of dying on their ass, these two. Like, it's not connecting with the room. Something's off. And, like, if you've not enjoyed this, that's absolutely fine. It's a subjective thing. But, like, say you were just on your phone. That would upset me. I'm a human being. You're very close to me. It's rude, isn't it? So they're doing their act, which, by the way, let's not lose sight of the fact they're shagging each other, this pair. That's the act. There's a table of four, like, honestly, where you are, and they're just on their phones. Is that not the fucking craziest thing you've ever heard in your life? How can you be on X, formerly known as Twitter, at a time like this? Like, enjoy it or agree or don't, but how can you not be inquisitive enough to glance at that? So they're not doing well. I'm at the back of the room. My mate Bizzle, this daggy, turns to me, and he's like, imagine that was your job. I was like, kind of is. Like, I'm a performer, they're a performer, my girlfriend's a performer, we do it. Like, it's just, I relate to this so hard, what we're watching, which is crazy, because everyone else on the stag, they've got 9 to 5s, they've got normal jobs. That's why we're there at the weekend. If I was back in the UK right now, I would be live on stage degrading myself in front of a stag do right now. I know exactly how that feels. And it sort of emboldened me in my life choice. I felt proud to be a performer. I was like, there's a nobility in that. I feel like these are my brothers, these performers. We're all in it together, and I felt good about my life choices. But it's like so hard to articulate at the same time. I felt all that, but like how, like so isolated from like my oldest. How can I be closer to Vader and Leia than any of my oldest, closest friends? Do you know what I mean? Me and Vader have got so much in common. We're both performers, both mouth breathers, obviously. I just know the feeling of having a rough one. Maybe they're trying out some new stuff. Or so, I just know him taking the helmet off behind the curtain and be like, well, they didn't go for the 69 stuff tonight. I just know exactly how that feels, and I'm proud of the life I've made myself. It's not for everyone. It's not for your bank manager, for your mates from home. But like, I was just looking forward to going home the next day and going back to my little flat. I'll just walk right in. The fucking door will be open anyway. Sit with my Hingo Ringo dog and my girlfriend. Just sit and read the telly. That's a nice life for me. And listen, whether you've enjoyed this or not, that's up to you. But I don't want you going home in any two minds. Theirs was an incredible performance. It was unbelievable. It was lost and wasted on the audience, but it was an extraordinary spectacle from a technical standpoint alone. It was unbelievable. Horrible phrase, but at the moment of insertion. He's over there like that. She's over here on a Segway. She fucking reverses into him like that. How many of you could do that? None of you. None of you. They should be on Broadway, these two. On a technical level, there was something for everyone. There was a man on the mic doing banter like, I hope he's not her father. It was something for everyone. It was wasted on the audience. And I kind of went away with two thoughts. Firstly, we're in a dying civilization. How's it got to this? How does this exist in the world? How's this happening? That was the first thing I thought. Second thing I thought was, I don't think Charlie Chaplin would be into this. I know there was an element of mine, but I don't think it'd be Charlie's bag at all. In the 1940 film, The Great Dictator, Charlie Chaplin's got a famous speech at the end about the rise of fascism, where he says, "Nowadays we think too much and feel too little." And watching the Star Wars Sex on Segways spectacular, I couldn't help but feel we've overcorrected. So I go home to my little family, the girl and the dog, and everything's good, man. And it's still new and it's still exciting. I think you learn about yourself in a new relationship as well. And one thing I learned about myself last year is, I guess I'm a bit jealous. Like, hopefully not to a bad extent. Hopefully it just means I care, but it is in there. And I'll tell you how I know this. We were sat in one night and we were trading like funny sex stories, like one night stand tales, the way you do at the beginning of a new relationship. And I told her one, I forget what it was, some bullshit, don't worry about that. I've told you enough. And she's racking her brains for like a funny one night stand story. She's like, I've got one, this is a good one. I was having sex with an Olympian once. And we go back to his, and we're getting down to it, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sorry, but I can't finish this story for you. And it's not because it's too risque, it's because I didn't even hear. Your guess is as good as mine for whatever this story was. I know lazy comedians love to use this word these days, but when I heard that word, Olympian, I was triggered hard. I black out, I'm picturing this Greek god of a man I could never live up to. And, my feelings are too hurt, right? So she's telling this story. I'm sure it's a great anecdote she's told through the years, and there's loads of great jokes, but I'm missing them all. My feelings are too hurt. I'm not listening. I just can't do it. So she's telling it, 5, 6, 7 minutes, big final punchline. And I don't react, obviously, because I've not been following along. And then there's a beat, and then I'm just like, winter or summer? It's like, what am I? Which Olympics? Don't fuck me about. Which Olympics are we talking about here? Which event? Tell me he was an archer. Tell me he was one of those gymnasts with the wee ribbon. That's what I need to hear. One of the daft lads with the brush at curling. That's what I need. Dressage, the fucking horse dancing. That's what I need to hear. It's cruel. Horses shouldn't be dancing. They should be in the pub like normal horses. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. My name's Stu. I'll see you around some other time. Take care. Have a great night. Cheers.